she thought that there were when I first got here.
I'm going to, thank you. I'm not clearing my throat to get your attention. I literally was just clearing my throat. I am going to call our Tuesday, October 18th Common Council meeting to order. Megan, will you please take the roll?
Davis. Here. Lampy.
Here.
Ritten. Bartz.
Here.
Licht.
Here.
Smith.
Here.
Schmid.
Here.
Wetzel.
Here.
Romline.
Here.
Very good. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. First item on our agenda is the minutes from the council meeting of October 4th. Does anyone have any comments or questions on those minutes? All right. Next item is comments and suggestions from citizens present. I don't see anyone remotely, but if anyone in the audience would like to comment, you can go to the microphone. Okay. We do have another opportunity at the end of the meeting. Let's go to reports then. You have the Park, Rec, and Forestry from August 1st, Senior Center Advisory Board from August 17th, Tourism from September 8th, Plan Commission from September 26th, Finance from September 26th, Finance from October 4th, and Site Plan from October 10th. Comments or questions on any of those? All righty. Then let's go to communications. Our first is our October employee recognition. We do have a couple for you this evening. One is able to join us, and that person is Mr. Matt Willman. So I'll invite Stacy up. And Matt, we are recognizing Matt tonight for 5 years of service in the street department. And I see. I'm going to give you this and then I'll get my.
So Matt started with the city on the solid waste collection crew, and after 7 months, he transferred to the street division side. After working in the laborer role for 3 years, Matt moved into the light equipment operator position, focusing mostly on the sign work. He does a great job being organized with all the special events, traffic shifts, lane closures, and detours for construction, and basically anything you ask of him. Matt can run the sweeper as well and is always willing to sub back on the solid waste crew when needed. He definitely is that go-to guy, whether it is during the normal workday, getting pulled off what he is doing to do something completely different, or always answering his phone after hours and coming in. Matt is someone I and the DPW rely on heavily. Quite frankly, other departments in the city as well, as he is always willing to make nameplates, signs, or just be of assistance any way he can. I look forward to seeing how far Matt progresses in his career with the city and working with him for many years to come. Congratulations, Matt.
I'll just share that anytime I go to the street department, Matt is always smiling. And that, I think, is not always something you see in work, labor work in particular. And I always just appreciate your positive attitude and your willingness just to do whatever it takes for the city. That isn't something we see all the time anymore, particularly from generations like mine and under. So I'm really appreciative that we have you, Matt. So thank you.
Appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you. The other years of service recognition for this month is Brent Kurtz, and we are celebrating Brent having 20 years at the fire department. I will tell you, I don't know another person that comes in for more call-ins than Brent. So when we need someone to come into the station, I can count on Brent being that guy. And that takes a lot too. So thank you to Brent as well. The next item in your packets is the fire department monthly report for September. Does anyone have any comments or questions on the report? Ms. Davis.
I always enjoy looking it over and reading it. So this time I have a question, and I don't know that it can even be answered tonight. But last time I had commented on the number of increase in the calls, and the mayor had spoken to the fact that they're always increasing. So my question is, what kind of discussions and work and collaboration do we put into trying to reduce the calls? And I was just kind of curious to know how you all think about that and address that, because that would seem like it would be a good goal.
Yeah, that would be, and I really appreciate you bringing that up, because part of the vision I had and the deputy chief job that I was asked for in this year's budget would actually be titled a Community Risk Reduction Officer. So they'll get out in the community and work with different agencies, partnership with people, and figure out ways to reduce calls, especially some of the no transport, slip and type ambulance
Right.
calls we have.
Right.
And basically being an advocate for citizens through networking with public health and smoke detector programs and stuff like that. So,
Cool.
yeah, it's in our vision, it's on our horizon.
All right, thank
Thanks
you.
for bringing it up.
Any other comments or questions on this one? All right. Next in your packets is the town square update. Any comments or questions on this one? Okay. Then let's go to new business. I should have prefaced this for the group. We have a couple of, which is weird because Vanderwall's not here. We were anticipating that, right, Stephen? Vanderwall joining. I saw them earlier today and they told me they were joining.
I was anticipating them to join for single.
Right, okay. Well, nonetheless, so for those of you in the audience, we don't often have a closed session during the council meeting, but we do tonight. So not right now, but in a moment, I'm going to ask for a motion to go into closed session, and then everyone has to leave. And we'll close the door, we'll do our business, and we'll open the door. And then, to make it even more different, we're going to do that twice. And we normally don't even do it once, but we're going to do that twice this evening. And then we'll come back in and have a more normal meeting. So, with that, I would look for a motion to go to closed session pursuant to Wisconsin Statute 19.85, Part 1, Part G. This is to confer with the city attorney, who's going to be rendering oral and written advice concerning a strategy to be adopted by the body with respect to litigation in which it is or is likely to become involved. This pertains to Able Light, who is formerly doing business as Bethesda Lutheran Communities.
Motion to go to closed.
Thank you. Motion by Mr. Licht, second by Mr. Bartz. Maggie, will you take the roll, please?
Licht,
Aye.
Smith,
Aye.
Schmid,
Aye.
Wetzel,
Aye.
Romline,
Aye.
Davis,
Aye.
Lampy.
Aye.
Motion passed 8-0.
Thank you. Item on our agenda is to review and take action. This is also on your desk this evening, a resolution to authorize the execution of a settlement agreement and release in Abolite Incorporated versus the City of Watertown. Is there a motion that in this case is Exhibit 9439?
I move to approve Exhibit 9439.
Thank you. Motion by Mr. Lampe, second.
I'll second.
Second by Ms. Davis. Discussion or questions from anyone on this one? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, very good. I will then look for another motion to go into closed session pursuant to Wisconsin Statute 19.85, Paren E. This is for deliberating or negotiating the purchase of public property, the investing of public funds, or conducting other specified public business whenever competitive or bargaining reasons require a closed session. This is pertaining to a development update.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you. Motion by Mr. Bartz, second by Mr. Licht. Megan, will you please take the roll?
Bartz?
Aye.
Licht?
Aye.
Smith?
Aye.
Schmid?
Aye.
Wetzel?
Aye.
Rumline?
Aye.
Davis?
Aye.
Lampe?
Aye.
Motion passed 8-0.
Very good. back in open session. The next item on our agenda is to review and take action on a resolution to approve a development agreement between the city and Hearing Protection LLC doing business as Griffin Armament. This is, Exhibit 9440.
Madam Mayor, I move for that.
Motion by Mr. Romline, second, Mr. Schmidt? Yes. Seconded by Mr. Schmidt. Discussion, question, comment? Megan?
Romline,
Aye.
Davis,
Aye.
Lampy,
Aye.
Bart,
Aye.
Licht,
Aye.
Smith,
Aye.
Schmid,
Aye.
Wetzel.
Aye.
Motion passed 8-0.
All right, thank you. All right, then let's go back to our regular cadence here. The next item is our accounts payable.
Madam Mayor, I move we pay all accounts payable.
Thank you. Motion by Mr. Romline,
Second.
second by Mr. Wetzel. Discussion on the accounts? Megan?
Romline,
Aye.
Davis,
Aye.
Lampy,
Aye.
Bartz,
Aye.
Licht,
Aye.
Smith,
Aye.
Schmid,
Aye.
Wetzel.
Aye.
Motion passed 8-0.
Okay, let's go to miscellaneous business. You have the cash and investment summary from September 30th, the payroll summary from September 7th to September 20th, and 21st to October 4th, and then the credit card purchases over $10,000. Does anybody have questions on any of those reports? All right, very good. Let's go to licenses. There is a memo in your packet pertaining to our licenses, and the one for consideration tonight is an application for a temporary Class B license for Big Brothers and Big Sisters of South Central Wisconsin for their movie night at 308 East Main on December 6th from 5 to 10.
I move the Class B license approval.
Motion by Mr. Lampy, second by Mr. Bartz. Does anyone have any questions or comments on this one? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay. Let's go to ordinances. Our first is ordinance 22-70. This is to adopt a planned unit development, general development plan under section 550-152 for 820 East Main. This is here from me and the Plan Commission on the first reading.
Mayor, I move to approve ordinance 2270.
Motion by Mr. Bartz, second by Mr. Licht. Questions, comments? Mr. Lampy?
I do want to talk about this one a little bit. This is a planned use development. It's a change to a section of the downtown that does not allow for auto repair. I think there was a move to take care of a number of the auto repair places in town to make sure that they are located a little bit off of the central district. We continue to have some development challenges around a lot of the automotive repair places downtown. What I would like us to consider is narrowing the scope of the planned use development so it is not as wide on auto repair. I know that the city ordinances currently don't allow for exceptions on that. If you dig into section Q right now, there's the auto repair, and that's a pretty blanket statement. You can fix anything, you can change anything. But if the intent of the Plan Commission was essentially to allow for an alarm business, there are sections in state code that basically just define, for example, accessory. And so I would suggest that we narrow the scope of this so we don't accidentally create an auto repair shop on Main Street when we've tried so hard not to have that type of use in the downtown.
I just want to clarify, so there was two actions that went before the Plan Commission. The first was about the, it was I think a conditional use permit for the business, for the lock and key portion of the business.
Right.
This planned unit development is indeed for auto repair.
Yes.
So there is, and it was the Plan Commission's positive recommendation for auto repair. I'm not saying that to sway you, I'm saying that to clarify, that the Plan Commission did indeed provide a positive recommendation for auto repair.
Right. And
So that
that's-
was the intent
Yep,
of what
that-
Plan Commission.
That's the part that I saw, and that's the part that I was confused why we would be bringing forth the full auto repair without conditions.
Correct.
If,
Did you have something to add?
That was correct. His statement is correct. That's what we want to do.
I recall discussion around this location in particular. I recall it because I was the one who said it at Plan Commission that I was comfortable with this particular location to maintain the use of auto repair because of the building, the location of the building, and frankly, the comments that we received from the surrounding residential area and the surrounding businesses were all supportive and positive. And the amount of parking spaces available on the site, front and back. So that, because auto repair can tend to clog up parking.
Yes.
So that, this site for me, as a plan commissioner, was different in that regard. So that, I can't speak, Mr. Romline can add in, and Sonia can add if she has anything, but as the plan commissioner, that was my take.
That's true, and we visited I personally visited that site and visited with the people around it, and they were very much in favor of that. And again, that's a historic site that's been a repair shop since I've been in Watertown.
Before I go to Mr. Bartz, I'm just going to remind Mr. Romline to please use your microphone before I get
Right here.
nasty grabbed. Yeah, Mr. Bartz.
Yeah, the only, I'm the alderman for that district, and the only additional thing I guess I wanted to point out is that there are two other repair businesses within blocks. There's one a block away, Summers, and Zix is 2 blocks away, so it's kind of fitting into the existing, I don't know how you say it, but we already have repair businesses in that area.
Mr. Schmidt.
I think what Mr. Alderman Lampine's getting at is to avoid the appearance that some repair facilities we have in the community are less than aesthetically pleasing to the eye, specifically related to our downtown area. I think that's part of the concern we have here is that would discourage, based on the appearance or based on the noise volume, based on the hours of operation, that would discourage other types of businesses in the surrounding area. And I would agree that would apply to certain businesses, but I visited the site, I looked at it, it is very eye appealing. It's got good curb appeal. There's no forfeiture of city parking on the streets for the businesses, as there's ample parking for customers. The hours are pretty middle of the day-ish, like 8:30 to 5:30 if I read it correctly. So that's no early operations, and the impact guns won't kick out until first thing, after morning starts and before the evening hours kick in. So I think that's being very mindful of the location and the surrounding neighbors that he has. So I would be in favor of it.
Anyone else on this one?
I have a question
Davis.
for the attorney. So they wrote a very nice letter explaining what their goals were, but they explained that they were going to be very careful about sound and parking and those kinds of things. But we can't really hold them to that, can we, legally, to that, for lack of a better word, the promises that were made in that letter?
Not necessarily to the specific promises they make within the letter, but there are conditions that can be placed on planned unit developments. So you could put those restrictions on there. There are also noise ordinances and other ordinances that we could use to find violations if they're causing problems or if it becomes an issue with noise or other problems.
So I'm wondering if that would be something that would be wise to do then, to just incorporate what they've already agreed to do into, formalize it into the planned unit development.
Traditionally, the approach we've been taking at Plan Commission is that if we have existing ordinances, that we leverage those. So for us, the noise ordinance is what we would leverage without having it being included in the PUD. I'm not opposed to that, but for awareness as to why we didn't include it. If we have nuisances of broken down vehicles, unlicensed vehicles, there's ordinances for that. So some of those things that I think would have been potentially cause for concern, we felt like we had existing ordinances in place to enforce. But, yes, Mr. Lampe.
And I guess I see and agree with the need to cleave to the existing ordinances, I guess, for visibility's sake, and maybe I'm the only one who sees it here, but basically in terms of like classification of repair types, again, we have a very broad brush, everything is a repair shop. We don't necessarily in an ordinances or where we break down our commercial business uses, we don't be able to say that it's type of repair shop A or type of repair shop B. So I might be the only one who's hung up.
No, so are you asking for further definition on types of repair shops?
Yes. yes, I don't think anybody else is interested in that at the moment, but, yeah, I think if, to your point, the cleanest way to go after, to basically enforce the promises in here basically would be to carve out, we're creating this particular type of shop. But it then should be required as basically a new business category for a less than everything repair shop, which we don't have in our ordinances today.
Anyone else? Mr. Romline?
He wants to be a less than everything. He wants to be able to do any type of automotive repair in that shop. And I think that was our intent, was to give him that grant.
Yeah, I was under the same impression.
Yeah.
Anyone else on this one?
I'm in favor of it. I think we should side in the side of the business owner in this case. Although
Okay.
I understand what the Alderman's talking about. So there are concerns about appearances, but I think I would support it.
Anybody else? Megan?
Bartz,
Aye.
Licht,
Aye.
Smith,
Aye.
Schmid,
Aye.
Wetzel,
Aye.
Romline,
Aye.
Davis,
Aye.
Lampy.
Aye.
Motion passed 8-0.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Yeah, Mayor, I move to suspend Rule 11 of Ordinance 114-7 to permit Ordinance 2270 to be passed by two readings of the ordinance at the same meeting for an accelerated adoption of the current meeting today, October 18th. Mr. Grunwald has moved into the new location on September 1st, but to this point, he's been unable to work his repair business. So I'd like to move this forward.
Okay. There's a motion by Mr. Bartz to suspend the rules to do the second reading tonight,
Second.
with a second by Mr. Licht. We'll take, is a voice vote fine?
Roll.
We'll take the roll on, so you're voting just on the motion to suspend the rules to do the second reading tonight. But that's not debatable.
Correct.
Okay, so go ahead, Megan.
Bartz,
Aye.
Licht,
Aye.
Smith,
Aye.
Schmid,
Aye.
Wetzel,
Aye.
Romline,
Aye.
Davis,
Aye.
Lampy.
Aye.
Motion passed 8-0.
Okay. Well, with that, is there a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Okay. Is there a second to that? So we have a motion to approve on the second reading by Mr. Bartz with a second by Mr. Licht. Any discussion? It's always a kind of an odd question. Megan?
Bartz,
Aye.
Licht,
Aye.
Smith,
Aye.
Schmid,
Aye.
Wetzel,
Aye.
Romline,
Aye.
Davis,
Aye.
Lampy.
Aye.
Motion passed 8-0.
All right. The one thing I wanted to take a look at, the day after its passage. So is that considered tomorrow?
Publication.
Publication needs to happen first.
When is that? So when can the business owner begin this type of work?
Depends on when it's published. My guess would be possibly the day after tomorrow.
They
2
normally
days
like a
from now,
3
if it-
business day lead.
How many?
3.
The newspaper? So we have to watch for it to appear in the newspaper?
She normally gives me an estimate of when it'll go in.
Okay. When you receive that estimate, can you send it to me? And then I'll get it to you. So we have to wait for it to legally be published in the newspaper. You're almost there. All right. Thank you, guys. Okay, let's then go to ordinance 22-71. This is to amend Chapter 550 of the zoning code through the addition of language to Section 550-131.1A, Paren 8. This pertains to electronic message center setbacks. This is here from me and the Plan Commission on the first reading.
I'll move for adoption of this proposed ordinance 2271.
Thank you. Motion by Mr. Smith,
Second.
second by Mr. Bartz. Discussion? Questions?
If I remember correctly, when Jacob was here, this is just more of a cleaning up of the ordinance to allow for signs to be modernized effectively, that are already physically in place, without having to redo everything.
It's a little bit of both. So yes-ish. It is the latter part of your statement, but it's not housekeeping so much or cleanup so much as it is a change. So we would be changing this to allow electronic message center within a 75-foot setback of residential, as long as it meets the same lumen requirements, and it can be 10% bigger, if I'm remembering correctly. Please, Sonia, if there's, you can step up to the, if you go to the microphone. So Sonia's going to be our interim Jacob for a little while.
Sonia Kriesel with Vandewall and Associates. Yeah, so electronic message center type signs are currently not allowed. I think it's within 150 feet of residentially zoned property under current ordinance. So what this does is it changes that policy a little bit, but bases it on signs that are existing in place that are already internally illuminated or backlit. So it allows a sign, if there's a religious land use, for example, a church that has a sign that has manually changeable letters on it, or even just a logo and it has illumination, they can take that and change it over to an electronic message sign. The idea is that the lighting already exists there. But then I did also note at the Plan Commission that that still falls under regulations for electronic message center signs, which I think is important, adjacent to residential properties. So that requires no changes of the message content within 60 seconds, so just once every minute, and then no, flashing or scrolling type signs. So that kind of helps reduce the nuisance for residential properties nearby.
Okay, that's just what I thought. I just wanted to confirm.
Any other questions for Sonia? Mr. Lampy?
This one still precludes it from historic districts.
Yes. Anybody else on this one? Megan?
Smith,
Aye.
Schmid,
Aye.
Wetzel,
Aye.
Romling,
Aye.
Davis,
Aye.
Lampy,
Aye.
Bartz,
Aye.
Lick.
Aye.
Motion passed 8-0.
Thank you. Our next is ordinance 22-72. This is to amend Chapter 550, our official zoning map. This is here for me and the Plan Commission on the first reading.
I would so move.
Motion by Mr. Lampy, second by Mr. Bartz. Discussion on this one? Megan?
Lampy,
Aye.
Bartz,
Aye.
Licht,
Aye.
Smith,
Aye.
Schmid,
Aye.
Wetzel,
Aye.
Romling,
Aye.
Davis.
Aye.
Motion passed 8-0.
All right, thank you. Let's go to resolutions. I'm just making sure before I do. Don't think there's anything else for you guys. So I think we're good. That's what I was just looking at too. Passenger transit. Yeah, I think we're good. Thank you. Okay, let's go to resolutions. The first is Exhibit 9431. This is a resolution that would modify our ARPA fund, which is Fund 24, to be renamed the Non-Reoccurring Grants and Revenues. This is here from me and the Finance Committee.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you. Motion by Davis, second by Licht. Discussion or questions on this one?
This basically just opens it up so it's not tied to a specific line of fund.
Yep. Allows us to just not create more funds for one-time grant funds and just put them all in this one fund. So just renaming it. So ARPA money will stay in this fund, and then should we get some other one-time grant, it could also go in this fund in the future. Anything you want to add on that, Mark? Anybody else? Megan?
Davis,
Aye.
Lampy,
Aye.
Bartz,
Aye.
Licht,
Aye.
Smith,
Aye.
Schmid,
Aye.
Wetzel,
Aye.
Romling.
Aye.
Motion passed 8-0.
Thank you. Next is Exhibit 9432. This is a resolution to apply for the 2023 recycling grant. This is here from me and the Finance Committee.
Madam Mayor, I move for 9432.
Thank you. Motion by Mr. Romline, second by Mr. Wetzel. Questions on this one? Megan?
Romling,
Aye.
Davis,
Aye.
Lampy,
Aye.
Bartz,
Aye.
Licht,
Aye.
Smith,
Aye.
Schmid,
Aye.
Wetzel.
Aye.
Motion passed 8-0.
All right, next is Exhibit 9433. This is a resolution to adjust our 2022 payroll resolution to add the Public Works Project Manager, grade M. This is here from me and the Finance Committee.
I would so move.
Motion by Mr. Lampy, second by Mr. Bartz. Questions, comments? Megan?
Lampy,
Aye.
Bartz,
Aye.
Licht,
Aye.
Smith,
Aye.
Schmid,
Abstain.
Wetzel,
Aye.
Romling,
Aye.
Davis.
Aye.
Motion passed 7-0.
All right, next is Exhibit 9434. This is a resolution to adjust the 2022 payroll resolution to set the stormwater project manager at grade M. Also here from me and the Finance Committee.
I would so move.
Motion by Mr. Lampy.
I'll second.
Second by Ms. Davis. Discussion on this one? Megan?
Lampy,
Aye.
Bartz,
Aye.
Licht,
Aye.
Smith,
Aye.
Schmid,
Abstain.
Wetzel,
Aye.
Rumline,
Aye.
Davis.
Aye.
Motion passed 7-0.
All right. And next is the resolution to adjust the 2022 payroll resolution to set the zoning administrator at grade N. This is here from me and the Finance Committee. Motion by Mr. Lampy.
Second.
Second by Ms. Davis. Comments or questions? Megan?
Lampy,
Aye.
Bartz,
Aye.
Licht,
Aye.
Smith,
Aye.
Schmid,
Abstain.
Wetzel,
Aye.
Rumline,
Aye.
Davis.
Aye.
Motion passed 7-0.
And then the last one in this grouping is Exhibit 9436, also a resolution to adjust the payroll resolution for the Assistant City Engineer to grade Q. Again, here from me and the Finance Committee.
I move to approve Resolution 9436.
Motion by Mr. Bartz, second by Mr. Lampy. Questions or comments? Megan?
Bartz,
Aye.
Licht,
Aye.
Smith,
Aye.
Schmid,
Abstain.
Wetzel,
Aye.
Rumline,
Aye.
Davis,
Aye.
Lampy.
Aye.
Motion passed 7-0.
Next is Exhibit 9437. This is a resolution to enter into a one-year contract with Passenger Transit for the Shared Ride Taxi Program. This is here from me and the Finance Committee? Or is this here from Mr. Lichten, Transit Commission? Did we take this up at Finance?
Yeah, didn't we do a transit thing last night?
Oh, we sure did.
Yesterday.
Yeah.
Thank you. It is here for me and the Finance Committee.
We talked about it.
24
You know, a lot happens.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that. Is there a motion on this one?
Madam Mayor, I move for 9437.
Thank you. Motion by Mr. Romline, second by Mr. Licht. Mr. Lampy.
For clarity, what's the difference between 37 and 38?
One is, well, it's noticed, one is for the service and the other's for the vehicles. So one is so I can sign the contract for them to be our provider. The next one is so that they can use the cars we buy. We do the car one every year from my recollection. We have to give them permission to use the vehicles. Yeah? You recalling?
believe so.
Yeah, okay. Any other comments or questions? Megan?
Rumline,
Aye.
Davis,
Aye.
Lampy,
Aye.
Bartz,
Aye.
Licht,
Aye.
Smith,
Aye.
Schmid,
Aye.
Wetzel.
Aye.
Motion passed 8-0.
All right, and our last exhibit is Resolution 9438. This is a resolution to enter into the one-year lease with Passenger Transit for the shared ride taxi vehicles. Hear from, for sure, me and the Finance Committee. Motion by Mr. Licht, second by Mr. Lampy. Comments, questions? Megan?
Licht,
Aye.
Smith,
Aye.
Schmid,
Aye.
Wetzel,
Aye.
Rumline,
Aye.
Davis,
Aye.
Lampy,
Aye.
Bartz.
Aye.
Motion passed 8-0.
All right, next is comments from citizens present. Seeing none, I just want to remind you all before I look for a motion to adjourn, you were provided documentation during closed session. Either hold on to that very closely or hand that to the city attorney before you go. With that, I would look for a motion to adjourn.
Before I do that, I'd like to compliment whoever developed the solution where we have the item on the agenda as a link to the item. It makes it easy,
Yes.
super easy to look at this. It saves a ton of paperwork. Good work.
Bravo.
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you, Mr. Rumline. The second by Mr. Schmid. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? All right, thanks, everyone. Have a good evening. Thanks for mentioning.